Alright, let's talk about cybercrime. The FBI used to chase individual hackers, a bit like playing digital whack-a-mole. Exhausting and frankly not super effective. But now, there's a shift in strategy. Why go after one tiny cyber weasel when you can dismantle their entire evil operation? This new game plan is all about targeting the infrastructure, the very bedrock of cyber nastiness. We're talking about the tools, the dodgy services, the anonymous platforms these digital delinquents rely on. Imagine taking away their special crime-facilitating keyboards and their beloved malware hosting servers. So instead of just playing catch-up, law enforcement is getting proactive. They're aiming to make life incredibly inconvenient for these cybercriminals, even if these shadowy figures are lurking in jurisdictions that are, let's say, less than cooperative with extradition requests. Yes, Russia, we might be looking in your general direction. It's a smarter, broader, and frankly, more satisfying approach. Take that, internet baddies. So, let's dive into an example. There was this delightful little corner of the internet called av.net. Spoiler, it was not birdseed. It was in fact a bespoke service for the discerning cybercriminal. A place where they could test their nasty digital concoctions. Think of Virus Total, the helpful website that scans your files for viruses. Well, av.net was its evil twin. Criminals could upload their latest malware, see which antivirus programs caught it, and which ones were blissfully ignorant, all done anonymously, of course. Dutch officials called it one of the largest Czech antivirus or CAV services used by cybercriminals. They basically installed various AV programs on virtual machines to run these tests. Sneaky. But the law, as it sometimes does, caught up. The US Department of Justice made undercover purchases on av.net. Surprise, it was a den of digital iniquity. And so, av.net had its plug pulled. One less tool for the internet's underbelly. Now, let's talk about a word that sounds like it was invented by a teenager trying to be edgy: crypting. No, crypting is all about making malware as invisible as possible. It's the digital equivalent of putting a very unconvincing mustache and glasses on a very obvious piece of malicious software. Cybercriminals flock to services like crypto.biz and crypt.guru. These sites offered to pack or crypt malware. Essentially, they'd wrap the nasty code in layers of obfuscation like a digital onion of deceit. The aim? To slither past antivirus programs. These services weren't free, of course. Criminals had to cough up around $40 to get their malware professionally hidden. It's suspected that the same bright sparks who ran av.net were also behind these crypting services. They could test their freshly crypted malware on their very own av.net platform. A closed loop of criminal convenience. Until, of course, the whole rotten enterprise came crashing down thanks to diligent police work. Another one bites the digital dust. You just love to see it. Section 4. Operation Endgame, the global smackdown on digital dirtbags. So, how did these takedowns happen? Was it a lone wolf investigator? A plucky teen hacker fighting for good? No, this was much, much bigger. Enter Operation Endgame. This is law enforcement going full beast mode on cybercrime infrastructure. It's a big deal. This wasn't just the FBI on its own. Oh no. This was a coordinated global effort. A veritable United Nations of crime fighting. We're talking Europol, leading the charge in Europe, alongside authorities from Denmark, France, Germany, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and across the pond, the FBI and Canadian police. They were targeting the very heart of these operations, and their target list was impressive. They didn't just go after av.net and those charming crypting sites, they also took aim at major malware strains. Think Bumblebee, Lactrodectus, CacBot, HijackLoader, Danabot, TrickBot, and WarmCookie. The operation resulted in taking down approximately 300 servers and seizing around 650 domains. That's a lot of digital real estate reclaimed for the good guys. The best part? This is just Season 1. Operation Endgame has announced that Season 2 is already in the works, targeting more crypting services. They've even launched a website, opengame.com, partly in Russian, directly addressing cybercriminals, telling them their actions have consequences. Section 5. Teamwork makes the dream work, international cuffs on cyber crooks. This whole Operation Endgame extravaganza, it's a shining beacon of international cooperation. And let's be brutally honest here, getting countries to work together smoothly can sometimes feel like herding cats. But in this case, it's a symphony of synchronized cyber sleuthing. It's genuinely impressive, and quite frankly, heartwarming. In a justice is served kind of way. Cybercrime, as we all know, doesn't give a fig about borders. A hacker in one country can wreak havoc in a dozen others before breakfast. So, it stands to reason that law enforcement needs to be just as global, just as connected. This means sharing information, coordinating actions, and basically being a united front against these transnational digital troublemakers. The results speak for themselves. International arrest warrants have been issued for 20 suspects. The U.S. Department of Justice has unsealed indictments against individuals involved with malware like Danabot and Quackbot. Authorities have seized over 21.2 million euros in cryptocurrency in total from these operations, with a recent haul of 3.5 million euros. That's not chump change, that's hitting them where it hurts, their digital wallets. Private sector companies are also stepping up. This public-private partnership is crucial. It's making cybercriminals very nervous. Section 6. The never-ending battle. Why this fight isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. Now, after all this good news, this flurry of takedowns and arrests, it would be lovely to declare victory. To say, well, that's cybercrime dealt with. Let's all go home and enjoy a cup of tea. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it's just not that simple. This isn't a single battle, it's a long, drawn-out, often frustrating war. A digital marathon, not a sprint. And the finish line keeps moving. These cybercriminals, you see, are a remarkably resilient bunch. They're like digital hydras. Cut off one head and two more seem to sprout in its place. They adapt, they evolve, they rebrand, they find new loopholes, new victims. It's an infuriating game of cat and mouse. Or perhaps cat and a very clever, very persistent, very annoying mouse that keeps changing its IP address. Law enforcement agencies are acutely aware of this. They're not popping champagne corks thinking the job is done. Far from it. The strategy is to continuously disrupt, to make it more difficult, more risky, and crucially less profitable for these criminal enterprises to operate. It's about constant pressure. It's about fracturing trust within the cybercriminal underworld itself. If they can't trust their tools or their partners, their whole rotten system starts to crumble. So, while Operation Endgame is a significant achievement, a monumental blow against the forces of digital darkness, the work is far from over. The fight must and will continue. Section 7, looking ahead, the future of fighting cybercrime, spoiler more takedowns. What's next in the ongoing saga of good versus digital evil? More takedowns, more arrests, more seizures. The plan is to hit them hard, targeting their infrastructure and finances, basically more bad days for bad guys. With international collaboration, the net is tightening. Fewer places to run, fewer places to hide. Ultimately, the goal is a safer internet for everyone. And we will be here with popcorn to watch it unfold.